Dear Sir, Samuel B. Malcolm Esquire is not wholly a stranger to you. He was 3 years in my family in the character of my private secretary, and I believe his conduct appeared to you, as it invariably did to me, ingenuously, candid, faithful, and industrious. His friends in New York were among the most respectable, his education was public, and his studies in the law and introduction to the bar regular. Congress has erected a new district, of which Utica, the place of his residence, is the center, and Mr. Malcolm aspires to be the judge. I believe there is no objection to his morals, politics, or legal qualifications. If you could find it consistent to intimate anything in his favor to Mr. Monroe, or Mr. Madison, you would oblige him and me. He possesses a landed estate, but I suppose, like all other landed estates that I know, is productive of a very small revenue, after the labor and taxes are paid. The embargo and the vote against any augmentation of the Navy, more than the taxes, and the threats or prospect of war, have raised a storm in Massachusetts and New York, which has hurled Jerry out of his chair and electrified and revolutionized all the subsequent elections. How far the hurricane or the earthquake will extend, I know not, but if it should not essentially hazard Mr. Madison's to election, I fear it will embarrass, if not paralyze his administration. Though Mr. Jerry is not too old for the most arduous service, he is one of the earliest and oldest legislators in the Revolution and has devoted himself, his fortune, and his family to the service of his country. I feel for his situation, and if he is not in some way, or other supported, the strongest pillar, of the present best system, will fall, and great, will be the fall of it. The strongest pillar, I mean on this side of Pennsylvania. His failure will dishearten, and discourage the cause in this quarter of the Union, and do incalculable injury to the nation. In one of your letters, you mentioned the confused traditions of Indian antiquities. Is there any book that pretends to give any account of those traditions, or, how can one acquire any idea of them? Have they any order of priesthood among them, like the Druidism, the bards or minstrels of the Celtic nations and sea? If I had not lived through the War of 1745, the War of 1755 and the War of 1775, I believe I should be now too anxious for a determined philosopher on account of the state of the nation. But in all dangers and in all vicissitudes I